What are the qualities of a great seducer?
I'm revealing stuff I shouldn't be revealing.
This is an exceptional way of starting a podcast.
That's what we call looking behind the curtain.
Robert Greene is one of the best-selling authors in history.
An internationally renowned
referencing songs by Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Drake.
This is such a credibility piece, right? Who is this person? Why should we give a damn about them? And then also leveraging massive names.
But in 2018, you had a stroke.
Oh,
In
the
that
problem.
moment, it sounds like your power had been taken from you.
This is absolutely storytelling to its finest. Instead of trying to just drop you with this heightened energy, what they did here is welcome legends to Podcast Marketing Secrets,
where we share all of the tactics and strategies from the #1 podcasting agency
on how to launch, grow, manage, and monetize a successful high-converting podcast.
Let's take your business and content to the next level.
Today, we are going to be reacting to one of the all-time best hooks of a podcast, and of course is from the legend himself, Mr. Stephen Bartlett from Diary of a CEO.
There is no one right now who does podcast hooks like this man and his team of weapon editors. I swear every time I see it, it's like a movie trailer. That is how much effort and energy goes into this. Now, we're not saying everybody has to get to this level, but we're going to break down this hook because there is so much psychology, there is so much editing that goes into these hooks, and this sets up the scene and the tone for the whole entire podcast and makes people want to sit on the edge of their seats and stick around in the podcast to get to those juicy bits. So we're going to break down exactly what the psychology is, what's happening from the editing point of view. So let's hit it, producers. Let's review.
Some of the greatest seducers were not good looking at all.
Stop it right there. That is an absolute banger to start with in terms of getting attention. You see how those two things are completely opposite, and it's a statement that, by the way, attracts anyone's interest. Everyone is interested in seduction. Is one of those things that naturally as humans, we obviously tend to be inclined to know more about. And the statement is some of the best seducers, you will assume the natural tendency will be that you will think of someone that is good looking, like ourselves, of course. But in this particular case, he's going for something completely opposite, which is they were not good looking. That right there is a shocking fact. Straight off the bat, you're like, what are you saying? That the people that are the best seducers are not really good looking? Straight away, you hook me in. What? I need to know more about this.
100%. All right, let's keep going.
Looking at all.
What are the qualities of a great seducer?
I'm revealing stuff I shouldn't be revealing.
Okay. What are the qualities of a great seducer? Firstly, intriguing. Yeah, cool. We're going to dive into that. It's also showing me what we're going to cover. But I'm diving into something I shouldn't be revealing. Come on, that's just classic human psychology. That's what we call looking behind the curtain, okay? It's creating that intrigue because it's a secret. He's not supposed to be revealing this, but it's going to be revealed on this podcast. So good.
Everyone wants to know the things that they shouldn't know, right? It's another human tendency and human nature. So this is an exceptional way of starting a podcast. And by the way, they got us hooked. We want to know more. That's exactly the type of feeling that you want to be creating in the very first seconds of a podcast. And we're not even, I believe we're only
9 seconds.
9 seconds in. And look how much intrigue and curiosity and desire to know more we already have in here. Let's keep playing.
Well, actually, they did that in 3 short sentences, right? We're at 9 seconds, 3 sentences in, we're hooked. Now they're giving us who this person is, why we care about them. So let's find out about Robert.
Robert Greene is one of the best-selling authors in history.
an internationally renowned expert
Credibility.
in power strategies.
And referencing songs by Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Drake.
Okay, so this is such a credibility piece, right? Who is this person? Why should we give a damn about them? And then also leveraging massive names of other celebrities to really just even raise his status even higher.
And obviously, if you're not living under a rock, you will know Robert Greene because of his books of human nature, The Art of Seduction, and The Laws of Power. So he's a really well-known author, but the minute you see it, if you don't know who he is, you might underestimate him, or you might be skeptical because he's obviously not very good looking, and also he's quite old. But this is where they're building all the credibility and reasons as to why you should listen to him and why his advice and his words have power and command authority.
Drake written 6 international bestsellers that have become legendary.
Why did you write a book about seduction?
Seduction is a high form of power. People will do what you want without ever even realizing it. Seduction is a mating ritual. You can't just swipe and get it, but...
That was a good little editing bit just there. Whoosh.
Yeah, these are all interesting elements that have been added as well as we go in terms of when we're even using names like they use Drake, Jay-Z, very worldwide known names. They're also pairing that with overlay and B-roll that basically showcase these particular people. So same thing are with the captions. They're trying to hook us in. There's many things happening. The music also matches pretty well the messaging that they're trying to communicate and the type of subject that we're touching on, which is crucial. This is something that we see as well time and time again. Podcasters and creators not get right, and is the wrong use of music in order to match the vibe of the particular subject and episode and the words that they're saying. If you're saying something that is about intriguing, excitement, seduction, your music should match it. It shouldn't be sad music, right?
100%. All right.
Because of all the dating apps, if you are able to understand the language of seduction, you're going to have so much more power and success than anybody else. And one thing about words is people can lie, but body language, it doesn't lie.
This is really good because the sentences and words that they just use as well are making you feel that anyone can attain this level of seduction mastery, if I may say. They're just speaking to the masses. They're telling you that anyone can do this. And if you do understand the qualities of what makes you be someone desirable or someone that understands the art of seduction, you will have more power and more success. Guess what? That appeals to any person on the planet, regardless of where they live or in which particular industry they're in. Everyone wants to have more power and more success at what they do. So they're being very intentional with what they're choosing out of the conversation to appeal to the masses, and is reflected as well on the amount of views that this episode has, which is several millions.
15 million. And actually, I will highlight here as well, even if we look at the title, so How to Seduce Anyone, Build Confidence and Become Powerful. Now, I'm not going to go into the titles because Stephen does not play by the rules of really effective title making. He absolutely leverages the celebrity power that he can get onto his podcast. However, the hook is in direct correlation with the title. So this, as we've discussed, impacts your click-through rate and also average view duration, ultimately views, right? We've discussed this on a prior episode. So we highlighted the seduction part. We're into the building confidence part as well. And they're also going to touch on elements of become powerful, 100%. So just all aligns, you're fulfilling that promise to the audience. Producer.
Master that language, you can start deciphering all this people are giving you. It's about psychology and it's about how you carry yourself. If you feel confident, it will naturally radiate through your gestures.
But what is real confidence and how does one build it?
The confidence comes from...
We knew it was coming.
This is so good. The way that they just drop that cliffhanger in there, and we're not even done. They keep going, but it's just a good point so far in the hook to start to leave some cliffhangers, to start to leaving you wanting more. So far, they did provide a ton of value, and it is a dance that you're going with between leaving some excitement and creating some curiosity, but also giving value away. So far, they've been giving credibility as well as elaborating a little bit more on some of the points and what goes into basically being an elite seducer. But they're not giving everything away just yet, and the secret sauce. They're saving that later for the conversation for us to want to stay in it.
About the topic of powers. But in 2018, you had a stroke.
Oh,
In
the
that
problem.
moment, it sounds like your power had been taken from you.
The left side of my body is paralyzed, and that was not easy. I've got to find a strategy to deal with all this shit. Please understand that the ability that you have now to run, to walk, to type, it can be taken away from you. It's miserable. Please don't take it for granted.
this is elite storytelling.
This is absolutely storytelling to its finest. Instead of trying to just drop you with this heightened energy, they switch things around for you to slow down and start easing in to what's going to happen, which is the conversation in itself. And what they did here is humanizing the person on the other end, because so far you will think of him.
Robert Greene.
Absolutely. He's an absolute superstar. This man has accomplished so much in his life. He's a successful author. He even understands seduction, right? And all these top of the line topics, but he's also human.
He's a man just like you or I, and he has problems that you or I could have also experienced. And this is why you're going to relate to him and want to listen more through the rest of the episode.
You're not a man, but yeah.
Did I say that?
You say you're just a man like you and
I am the man.
I. Some days you are.
Is there any more? They're gonna
Before
drop
we get
us
into
in.
this episode.
Yeah,
That is
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
Now he's about to hit you with a sponsor, or he's about to tell you about subscribing to the channel, which
Different episode.
Yeah, in this particular case, also really good from him because we're already hooked. So this will be the perfect placement to have some level of call to action, which for him tends to be the subscribing. And it tends to be very easy for people to want to give you a subscribe and a good reminder. So just a little extra sauce in there. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode reacting to one of the all-time best hooks that there is out there in the podcasting world. A lot of lessons to be taken from this episode alone, but we will encourage you to become a student of the game. And if you're a founder, business owner, this will help you to know how to communicate when you're producing your episodes, your content, how to talk in a way that is gonna genuinely get your dream customer interested, have curiosity, and then hopefully to want to buy from you and to be a raving fan of you, your company, your products, your offers, your services, and ultimately of you as a superstar of your niche. Okay, so make sure that you're not only paying attention to how Steven does it or just this episode. Go look at other successful podcasters so that you can start really understanding what's the game behind the hook of an episode, because this will heavily determine the growth and success that you can have online.
Perfect. Thanks, team. We'll see you on the next episode of Pod Marketing Secrets. Thank you for joining us on Podcast Marketing Secrets. If you found value in this episode, the best way you can support us in continuing to deliver this content to you is by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Now, if you're keen to connect with us, we are at Vibez Creative on all your other social media platforms. Please send us your questions, engage with us, let us know what you want to hear about next on the podcast, and we'll be sure to create content around that.
And if you're interested in partnering with us for the highest level of support for you to be able to launch, grow, manage, and monetize a successful podcast for your business or your personal brand, we offer different levels of support, starting from our services, one-on-one coaching, as well as our completely done-for-you system. So if you're interested in finding out more, book a call with our team down in the description below.